All right, breaking news. Mr. Derek Chauvin has been charged with the murder of George Floyd. Breaking news. Derek Chauvin has been charged with George Floyd murder. Now, what I'm about to say in this video, to me, it's nothing new. It's not no celebration or none of that. Because being charged means nothing. Because you still have a process. Bond. If he gets a bond, he could bond out. From what I understand, depending what he's going to be charged with, if it's murder, he shouldn't have no bond. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be argued in court, considering the nature of the crime. His attorney probably going to cry out that him being locked up, his life could be taken, or because of this COVID-19 situation. So I'm saying right now, for those who do get this news, don't celebrate, because being charged means nothing when it comes to someone like him. Being charged means nothing, because if he gets a bond and bonds out, it won't mean nothing. Furthermore, there's 3 officers that still has not been charged. Now, the reason that is being said, and you can see the videos, they are saying because of the evidence that they have gathered is the reason why that they was able to go ahead and charge Derek Chauvin with the murder, brutal murder, unnecessary murder of George Floyd. Now, the reason why, and I'm willing to bet, is linked to money. You got people out there tearing up and destroying. More than likely, who does the land and the property belong to? The white man. With the COVID-19, with people already struggling to try to get back to work, people out there rioting, looting, burning down businesses, well, you know that's not going to make it no better at all. It's not going to make it no better. So they had to do something, because I was just telling my girlfriend this morning, if they don't do something, it's going to be a very, very long weekend, which is going to have a double or triple effect impact on businesses, land, and property. So they're not charging him just because after 4 days, as far as I'm concerned, you could have charged them within 48 hours. You fired him, and then within that 48 hours, he should have been charged along with the other 3, because the other 3, their situation is not so delicate because they are accessory to murder, because they were there, and as police officers, they could have done something to alleviate because you are sworn officers to serve and protect and preserve life. But you didn't do it. Then come to find out that George Floyd and Derek Chauvin worked together as security. Because I was asking myself when I'm, and I'm constantly looking at this video, I was asking myself, why would you lean on that brother's neck like that, and you were comfortable just leaning on his neck when there never was no resisting arrest? It wasn't never a scuffle. And if you look at certain points of the video, even though there's no audio, you can see when George Floyd is sitting down on the ground and when he's leaning to the left while one officer was talking to him. I strongly believe that was because, he probably was trying to protect himself, because the officer is talking and we already have this COVID-19 pandemic. And I think the brother was leaning over to try to avoid this officer talking because he didn't have no mask on his face. He was trying to avoid them droplets getting on him. So I strongly think, and you would have to actually look at that video when he was sitting on the ground and he kept on leaning to the left, trying to, he looking at the man and he's trying to like turn his head and, and I think that was a clear indication that he was leaning because this officer didn't have a mask on his face. Okay? Then when you look at the video when they go across the street to the other patrol car, you can clearly see where one officer is opening the door. The other officer, with some type of movement or gesture, did something to make George Floyd fall to the ground, where I think George Floyd was in pain. Then in the video, you can see the other police vehicle whip around and block the rest of what was going on. And they did say that they have body footage of whatever, which I'm pretty sure that's going to come out too slowly, as well as other stuff that's coming out, considering this investigation. But my whole thing was, it looked more personal because how Derek Chauvin was leaning on that man's throat. And it has come out that they had worked together in security. So somewhere there must have been some type of disagreement on the job. And Derek Chauvin seized the opportunity. Oh, I know this dude right here. I know this dude right here. Because if you look at the video, if you look how comfortable he's leaning on that man's neck, like, man, yeah, I got you now. It's payback. You can clearly see how he's comfortable. Yeah, honey. Yeah, charge. Nah, there ain't nothing. I'm trying to see if they're gonna get a bond. If he gets a bond, this is going to escalate even worse. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, okay. All right, bye. Now, that was just my girlfriend calling me, telling me, because she just found out about it too. I already knew. I'm more concerned about the bond. What happened? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Bye. Now I'm more worried about the bond and if you're gonna bond out. And what is your lawyer gonna use? Which the only thing I can think is that he's gonna argue in court that your life is in jeopardy and because of this COVID-19. That's the only thing that I can actually see your lawyer arguing. So my whole thing is, what about the other three? And to me, this was more personal. It was some get back. Because if you two was working together, there must have been some type of disagreement. You know. And George Floyd looked like the type of dude, you know, because I've ran into that in the past too as well, where I've worked on the job with other, yeah. Third degree manslaughter. Oh, that's only 3 to 7. I can tell you that off bat. Yeah, 3 to 7. No, that ain't nothing. Okay, right. According to my girlfriend, he's supposed to be charged with third degree murder, which that's nothing. If I'm not mistaken, I would have to look it up, and you guys can do the same thing too. I think that's actually 3 to 7, if I'm not mistaken. But even though he's being charged with that, that can actually, once it gets to the court can, if and I'm a little rusty with the law, but I think the court can actually either increase the charges or they can leave the charges like they are, or they can see fit to, lessen the charge. That's just what he's being rid of for, far as now, and the reason why he's being charged again is because of the public outcry right now. In other words, let's do something to try to, calm these Negroes down. But I've seen it all before. Because some way you're going to use the law to navigate and manipulate and weave your way out, weave those guys up out of this, getting away with killing another black brother. And I keep saying, and I'm going to keep on saying, the problem is not us rioting in the streets, looting and burning down buildings. We need to go to the state capitals, Washington, D.C., put pressure on vice presidents, secretary of state, prosecutors, judges, stuff like that there. We need to devote that energy and time, who's ever in control of these cases and have a hand in these cases. We need to look into those people's background and put them out here on blast. I don't care if you stole a piece of candy 10 to 15 years ago, because see, when stuff like this happen, when they kill a black man, that's one of the things they want to put out. Oh, he has a criminal background. And we need to start doing the same thing to them too as well. We need to, who's the judge? Okay, we finna pull your file. Who's the prosecutor? We finna pull your file. Who's the people in politics? See, our problem is not tearing up the streets, black brothers and sisters. What we need to do, we need to get up there to Congress. We need to get to the people that's actually handling this case and put, like Dr. Claude Anderson said in one of his videos that I watched a while back, we need to be in more of a position where we can control the floor. It shouldn't be no more of this 85% white, 10% black, 5% other, because we're not getting nothing done. This rioting and stuff like that they're only doing this here because it's costing them money. That's the only reason why they're actually charging. Charging doesn't mean anything until we find out if he's going to get a bond and if he's going to be able to bond out. This is what we should be sitting back waiting for right now. I mean, okay, he's been charged. Okay, yeah, let's take a little break, but we're letting you know we're not going away because it's 3 more people, and we want to see what and see. I don't know, 3rd degree murder, manslaughter, whatever. I think you can bond out on that. I don't know. You guys look into it and you tell me, and leave it down there in the comment box so everybody can see it. But from what I'm just being told, that's what he's being charged with, 3rd degree murder, which, that's, I think that should be a little bit more, but I used to be familiar with capital, 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, stuff like that. I used to be familiar with stuff like that there back in the day, but I'm a little rusty at it. So leave your comments. Let me know what's going on and your thoughts. And, what do you think that the other 3 should be charged, or they should have been charged right along with him, because now they're still being investigated as well, with only him just being charged, since he's the forefront, because since the camera is really directly on him, and, he's just there, I think it makes me more emotional knowing that how he was sitting on George Floyd's neck, and he was sitting there comfortably. That's why I had looked at it and I said, you know what, that looked more personal. For me, me being from the streets of Chicago, police would have their picks that they would harass, they would have personal vendettas against and stuff like that there. So that's why that came to my attention. All 3 of you guys, this man is on the ground. None of you guys have masks on. And you put in a combined weight of almost 800 pounds. And you're on top of this guy for 7 to 8 minutes. And you're putting the most pressure on the most delicate part of his body, which is his neck, where he needs to breathe. You're already on his legs. You're already on his back. You got him on his stomach. Just being on his back, that could cause injury. Just being on his legs with his knee on concrete could cause injuries. But you guys went as far as to murder the brother. Now, good cops out here have to deal with this foolishness. So, Derek Chauvin has been charged. Now we're waiting to see about the other 3. Now we have to pay attention. Is he going to get a bond? And if he get a bond, is he going to bond out? And even if he do get a bond, what's going to be the reason why he gets a bond?